The alien warship drifted in dead space, like a wounded beast. Its outer armor was cracked from the recent battle. Long trails of smoke and sparks floated from open wounds in the metal. Inside the ship, the hallways were silent. The usual noise of engines, drills, and alien voices was missing. Only a deep metallic echo repeated through the corridors. Thousands of alien soldiers gathered in the main deck. Their faces were tense, their long arms folded across armored chests. They whispered to each other in their own sharp language. Every whisper carried one name: the last human prisoner. "Humans are weak," one alien hissed. "Soft hearts, weak minds," another replied. "They feel too much. They break too easily," a third added. Yet their eyes betrayed a thin line of fear. They had fought humans before. They knew humans died hard. Deep in the lower level of the warship, in a small dark cell, the last human sat on the floor. His name was Commander Rin Hale. His uniform was torn. His face was swollen. Bruises covered his arms. But he sat straight, his breathing calm. His eyes were open, watching the darkness around him. He had no weapon. He had no food. He had not slept for many hours. Still, he was calm. Two alien guards stood outside the cell, pacing back and forth. Their metallic boots made cold, sharp sounds. One of them stopped and stared at Rin. "Look at him," the guard laughed. "Human body is breaking." Rin said nothing. The guard slammed a fist against the bars. "Speak human." Rin slowly lifted his head. He gave a small smile, but he did not say a word. The second guard growled. "He is broken already. Humans cry, bleed, and beg." But he stays silent. Strange creature. Rin closed his eyes. He ignored them. He breathed like someone meditating, like someone who knew something they did not. Above the cell, in the command deck, the alien captain watched the prisoner through a large screen. The captain's claws clicked against the control panel. He did not trust silence. Silence from a human was even worse. Why is he not afraid? The captain murmured. No one answered. Then, suddenly, the lights flickered. Every screen flashed white. The ship trembled. A strange hum filled the air, vibrating through metal walls. It felt like a pulse. The hum grew louder, stronger, deeper. Soldiers reached for their weapons, confused. Officers shouted orders, but alarms refused to respond. "What is happening?" The captain growled. "Unknown disturbance." A technician yelled. "System reacting on its own." The ship's lights blinked again and again. Shadows danced across every surface. Sparks rained from broken wires. Doors opened and closed without command. The temperature dropped fast. Cold fog covered the floor. "Lock down the prisoner!" the captain shouted, but the guards were already running back to Rin's cell. Down in the lower deck, the two alien guards struggled. The doors refused to open. Then they opened by themselves. The guards stumbled into the cell area and froze. Rin Hale was still sitting on the ground. But something was different. The hum grew louder around him, like the sound was coming from him. "Stop this!" one guard shouted. "Stop whatever you are doing." Rin's eyes opened slowly. They glowed faintly in the blue light of the emergency lamps. The ship's cameras zoomed in automatically, focusing on his face. And then, the cameras caught something strange. Rin's lips were moving, but he was barely whispering, so quietly that even the audio could not detect the exact words. Yet his lips moved with purpose, like he was speaking in a language only he understood. The guards screamed into their comm units. "He is doing something. He is controlling the systems." Inside the command deck, after hearing the guards' terrified voices, the alien captain slammed his claws onto the console. "Impossible! A human cannot hack our systems from a cell. He has no interface, no device, nothing." But the ship did not care about logic. The hum spread again, faster now. Lights began to die one by one. Entire sections of the warship turned dark. Heavy machinery shut down. Gravity shifted for a moment, making soldiers float before crashing back to the floor. Chaos exploded. Find the source. The captain roared. Technicians scanned the systems. Their screens flickered with strange symbols. Not alien symbols. Not known digital code. These symbols were human. Captain, this is human code. A technician shouted. It is rewriting our command protocols. The captain's face twisted with disbelief. Impossible. Back in the cell, the two guards stepped backward, weapons shaking in their hands. The hum became deeper, almost like a heartbeat. Rin stood up, slowly, calmly. He looked at the guards with cold eyes, human eyes, but filled with something ancient, something powerful. The lights turned blood red. Every alarm screamed. The ship felt alive. One guard dropped his weapon and ran, screaming down the hall. The other stared at Rin with pure fear. Suddenly another soldier rushed in, panting, shouting at full volume, "He is not alone!" And the entire warship froze in terror. The words echoed through the metal corridors, like a shockwave. "He is not alone." Every alien on the ship felt a cold tremor crawl across their spine. Soldiers who had faced fire, bombs and death suddenly stood frozen. Their armor felt too heavy. Their lungs felt too small. The command deck exploded with noise. Officers shouted, screens flashed red, and emergency lights spun like wild stars. The captain stormed toward the central hollow table. His claws tapped fast on the surface, trying to access internal sensors. "Scan the lower deck," he ordered. The technician tried. His fingers moved fast, but the screen showed only static. "Captain, the system doesn't respond. Someone is controlling it." "Override," the captain roared. "I tried the override, Commander." "The ship rejects all commands." The captain stared at the screen, shocked and angry. "Impossible. This is our ship, built by our engineers, powered by our technology. A human cannot." Before he could finish, the lights died completely. Everything went black. A second later, a soft blue glow rose from the floor. It formed a symbol, a human symbol. A circle with 6 lines spreading out from it, like a star. The symbol pulsed slowly, like a heartbeat. The aliens had never seen this symbol before, but Rin Hale had. Down in the lower deck, the guards who remained behind stared at Rin in disbelief. Their weapons shook in their hands. They didn't dare fire. Rin stood tall now, no longer sitting weakly in the corner. He didn't move fast. He didn't need to. The ship responded to him like a loyal animal. One of the guards whispered, voice barely audible, "What are you?" Rin didn't answer. His eyes drifted upward, toward the ceiling, toward the command deck far above. It was as if he could see through walls, through floors, straight into the heart of the ship. The hum in the air shifted. It became rhythmic, like breathing. Not human breathing, not alien breathing. Something else. A deeper presence. Something invisible, but absolutely real. The two guards backed up until their backs hit the metal wall. They slid to the floor, realizing they couldn't escape. They weren't guarding a prisoner. They were trapped with him. On the command deck, soldiers stood around the pulsing symbol, trying to understand what it meant. Is this human magic? One alien whispered. No human has this power, another said, voice shaking. The captain stepped forward, his eyes fixed on the glowing symbol. This is not magic. This is technology. But human technology is primitive. Primitive? The captain snapped. We assumed humans were simple because it made us feel strong. The room went silent. A sudden voice crackled through every speaker. Not alien, not automated. A voice calm, steady, human. Captain! The captain froze. Human prisoner, he growled. Rin's voice filled the entire command deck without any communication device. His tone was controlled, but there was something behind it, something that made even veterans shiver. We warned you. The captain's claws clenched. How are you speaking through our systems? Rin did not answer the question. He spoke again, voice echoing through every corridor of the ship. You broke your promise. You started a war you said you did not want. The captain slammed a fist onto the table. Humans attacked us first. Rin's voice sharpened. You lie to your own people. You attacked our colonies. You kidnapped our scientists. And now, a low vibrating sound filled the ship. You pay the price. Soldiers looked at each other in terror. The blue symbol on the floor pulsed faster. The hum grew stronger. The ship began to shake violently, as if something inside it was waking up. Stop this! The captain shouted. Stop your threat or we kill you. Rin's voice turned cold. You cannot kill me now. As if answering him, the lights returned, but not the usual white lights. The entire ship was lit with a deep red glow. Every screen showed a countdown starting. 1 bar 59, 58 aliens. Gasped. The captain's heart dropped. Shut it down now. Technicians rushed to controls, but the controls refused their commands. The system ignored them, as if the ship belonged to someone else. Panic spread like fire. Down in the prisoner deck, the guards screamed into their communication units. The countdown. It won't stop. Rin stood calmly, watching the numbers fall. Above him, the alien captain shouted, voice shaking with fear. Human, tell me what this is. Rin finally responded. This ship carries a hidden system. A human-coded parasite. A silent watcher. The captain stared, confused. A watcher. Rin spoke calmly, like explaining to a child. Long before this war, we knew you would betray us. We put something inside your ships. Something you cannot see. Something you cannot control. The captain's face turned pale. That is impossible. How did you place human systems inside our ships? Rin finally smiled. We trusted you. The countdown reached 30. Chaos exploded. Soldiers pushed. Silence swallowed the warship. No alarms. No hum. No voices. Nothing. Every alien on board held their breath, staring at the frozen countdown clock on the screens. 09. No movement. No change. It was as if time itself had stopped. Up in the command deck, the alien captain slowly stepped forward, afraid to touch anything. His claws trembled as he reached toward the hollow screen. He expected it to burn him, explode, or restart the countdown, but the numbers remained frozen. The captain turned, searching for answers in the faces of his trembling soldiers. What has he done? He whispered. No one dared reply. Suddenly a soft hiss echoed through the deck. A door opened on its own. A cold breeze flowed in, and there he stood. Commander Rin Hale, the last human aboard, bruised, hungry, weak-looking, yet walking with absolute confidence. He had been locked deep in the lowest cell, but now he stood on the highest command deck, without a single guard escorting him. Without force, without violence, just walking, impossible. The captain staggered back. How did you leave your cell? He demanded. Rin did not answer. He stepped forward, each footstep slow and steady. Alien soldiers raised their weapons, but the captain lifted a hand, stopping them. He didn't want to anger Rin. Not now. Rin's eyes scanned the room. He didn't look angry. He looked disappointed. You still don't understand, he said quietly. His voice echoed across every speaker in perfect synchronization. It was calm, cold, and carried a strange authority. The captain snarled, trying to hide his fear. Understand what? That a human, one single human, can make our entire ship freeze. Rin turned toward the suspended countdown. Not freeze, he corrected. Pause, he raised a hand. His fingers curled slightly. Every screen flickered. The countdown started again. 9. 08, 0007 aliens screamed and pointed their weapons at Rin. Stop it! The captain roared. Rin lowered his hand, and the countdown froze again. Gasps filled the room. Impossible, a soldier whispered. This cannot be real. Rin looked at them with a steady, emotionless gaze. This ship does not belong to you anymore. The captain's claws shook. How did humans build this? How can you control our systems without touching anything? Rin finally answered. Your ships use mixed technology, mechanical, organic, neural, digital. But at their core, they all rely on a base signal, a carrier wave. He pointed at the floor. A wave your engineers did not invent. The aliens stared, confused and shocked. Rin continued. 3 years ago, before the war truly began, humans studied your ships. Quietly, we learned your weaknesses, and we left something inside your systems. A seed. The alien captain felt his chest tighten. A seed? Rin nodded. Hidden, silent, waiting. He tapped his head lightly. Listening. A long pause followed. One brave officer stepped forward, voice shaking. You can't expect us to believe humans predicted this war. Rin's expression hardened. We didn't predict it. We prepared for it. His words hit the aliens like physical blows. They had always believed humans were emotional, soft, irrational. They never imagined humans could think this far ahead. Rin glanced at the giant view window. Stars floated outside like quiet witnesses. When you broke the peace treaty, he said, our leaders activated the Watcher. The captain's voice cracked. Watcher. Rin nodded again. A silent guardian, a ghost inside your systems. It monitors everything you do, every order, every weapon, every movement. The command deck fell into a stunned silence. Rin walked past trembling soldiers. No one dared to stop him. He placed his hands softly on the central hollow table. The ship obeyed instantly. Light shifted from red to a deep blue, the human symbol glowing brighter. Every screen changed, showing complex human code. The captain felt his knees weaken. This ship, this entire fleet, you can control them all. Rin looked at him with cold eyes. Yes. Why didn't you use this power earlier? One officer asked, voice shaking. Rin breathed slowly. Because humans believe in peace. We hoped you would stop. We hoped you would talk. He paused. But you kept killing us. A low rumble filled the ship. Not from engines. Not from weapons. From fear. Rin raised his hand again and spoke softly. Ship, activate transparency mode. The warship obeyed. The walls around them turned semi-clear, revealing the outside space. It was a horrifying sight. A massive fleet of alien ships hovered silently around them. Frozen, powerless. Hundreds, maybe thousands. All floating dead. Every single one controlled by the same Watcher system. The alien captain whispered in horror. This cannot be. Rin didn't look at him. He stared into the star-filled darkness, his voice calm. This is human strategy. You never understood us. You thought we were weak, simple, emotional. But you forgot one thing. He turned, meeting every alien's terrified eyes. Humans do not lose quietly. A tremor passed through the command deck. Some soldiers fell to their knees. The captain swallowed hard. What now, human? Rin stepped closer until he stood right in front of the captain. His voice dropped to a whisper. Now you listen. He pointed at the frozen countdown. 0. 05. Because if you don't, Rin said gently, your entire fleet will disappear. The frozen 0005 glowed across every screen like a bloody wound. Its red light washed over the command deck, painting the faces of terrified alien soldiers. Commander Rin Hale stood calm, steady, and silent. The alien captain trembled. He had commanded fleets, conquered planets, and broken enemies. But now, he felt like a child staring at a storm he could not understand. Rin spoke quietly, but every word carried power. Your war ends here. No shouting. No threats. Just cold certainty. The captain swallowed. What do you want from us? Rin's eyes didn't blink. A choice. The aliens looked confused. A choice? From a human prisoner. From someone who looked half dead. But the entire ship obeyed him. Like he was its heart, Rin gestured toward the view window. Outside, the alien fleet floated lifeless. Hundreds of ships, warships, transport carriers, dreadnoughts, hung in silent orbit, frozen mid-maneuver. Their engines were dead. Their weapons were dead. Everything controlled by the human watcher code. An officer broke into a panic. Deactivate the human! Kill him! Do something! Before anyone could move, the floor vibrated. A soft metallic growl rolled through the ship. Rin looked at the officer. Try it! Suddenly, the officer's weapon snapped open by itself. A spark shot out. The weapon turned into molten metal and dripped to the floor. The officer screamed, dropping the burning pieces. Rin didn't even move. You still don't understand, he said softly. I am not doing this alone. The alien captain hesitated. Then, who is helping you? Rin tapped the side of his head. A pattern, he whispered. A human pattern. Something we built long before this war began. The captain stepped closer, trembling. A machine? Rin smiled faintly. Something more. He turned toward the frozen countdown. Pi-05, your systems are in paralysis. Rin explained. Everything is under human control. Even your escape pods will not move. Your weapons are locked. Your shields cannot rise, one of the commanders shouted. Then why don't you just destroy us? Why freeze us? Rin looked directly at him. Because destruction is easy. Understanding is hard. The room went silent. Rin took a deep breath. Humans gave your empire a chance to form peace. You broke that chance. You tried to enslave us. You tried to erase us. And even now, you do not want peace. You want power. The captain lowered his head. He could not deny it. You promised peace, Rin said, stepping closer. But you only wanted to weaken humanity. A crackling noise came through the speakers. The lights flickered. The ship groaned. Rin raised a hand. Everything stilled again. He walked to the center of the command deck. The human symbol glowed beneath his boots. Then he gave the aliens their choice. Option 1. Surrender. Fully. End the war. Return every human prisoner. And allow humans to control your military for 5 years. The aliens gasped. 5 years of human control. Impossible. Unthinkable. Rin continued. In return, humans will not destroy you. We will not erase your cities. We will let your people live. He paused. Option 2. He pointed at the frozen countdown. Allow the last 5 seconds to finish. Terror rippled across the command deck. Soldiers fell to the floor, some sobbing, some praying to their gods. Officers shouted at each other in panic. 5 seconds, one cried. 5 seconds will destroy everything. Rin nodded quietly. Yes, the captain closed his eyes, shaking. What happens at 0? He whispered. Rin stepped forward, his face inches from the captain's. Your entire fleet shuts down permanently. Every ship becomes dead metal. Every system wiped. You will float in space, powerless, until humans decide your fate. The captain gasped. You cannot do this. It is already done, Rin replied calmly. He pointed again at Pi-05. As soon as I release the pause, the countdown continues. I cannot stop it anymore. Only your choice can stop it. The command deck exploded in desperate arguments. "We should fight," one shouted. "We cannot fight the human machine." Another cried, "We should accept surrender." Another begged, 5 years of human control. We will lose everything we built. We will lose everything anyway. Their voices overlapped, panic drowning the deck. Rin listened quietly, arms crossed. His calmness made the aliens even more afraid. A man with no weapon, no armor, no army, yet he held the fate of a fleet in his hands. Finally, the captain lifted his hand. His voice was low but steady. Silence. The command deck obeyed. The captain looked at Rin. If we surrender," he said slowly, "what guarantees do we have that humans will show mercy?" Rin looked at it. The alien battleship shook again. The alarms grew louder, echoing like metal screams through the long corridors. Alien officers ran in every direction, shouting orders, trying to fix systems that refused to obey. Red lights flashed, turning every face into a mask of fear. Commander Rin Hale walked slowly down the corridor, hands behind his back. His steps were silent, but they felt heavy, like the ship itself could feel him moving. Every alien soldier Rin passed stared at him with a mix of hatred and deep fear. None dared to touch him now. They only watched, weapons shaking in their hands. "Stop right there, human," an officer yelled from behind. Rin paused. He turned his head slightly, his calm eyes making the officer's voice die in his throat. "You do not understand," Rin said softly. "If I stop, you lose more than you think." The officer swallowed hard. He tried to reply, but nothing came out. He stepped back instead. Rin walked on. Far ahead, at the end of the corridor, stood a massive armored door, 10 meters tall, sealed with thick energy locks. Every alien on the ship knew that behind that door lay their most powerful weapon, a weapon they had stolen from humans during the war, a weapon they believed even humans feared. It was called the Eclipse Core, a glowing sphere of unstable energy, able to destroy a planet if released. No one, not even the alien commanders, dared to open that door. But right now, all systems on the ship were going wild. The weapons control was offline. Engines were failing. Artificial gravity flickered. And the door, yes, the door was twitching, its locks flashing red, like something was trying to open it from the inside. Aliens shouted and ran to secure it. "Seal it! Seal it now! Core containment is dropping. What is happening?" Rin walked closer, his face unreadable. An alien general pushed through the crowd. He was bigger, armored in silver plates, eyes full of rage and fear. He pointed at Rin. "You human!" he roared. "What did you do to our ship? Answer me!" Rin looked at the general for a long moment. Then he spoke in a low, controlled voice. "You stole something that should have never been touched, and now it wants to go home." "Nothing wants anything," the general shouted back. "It is just a weapon." Rin shook his head slowly. "No, you do not understand it at all. That is why you are dying." Before the general could reply, the giant armored door screeched. A loud cracking sound echoed through the corridor. The energy locks broke one by one, sparks flying. The metal plates glowed hot, as if something inside was burning through them. Aliens screamed and fired their weapons at the door, hoping to stop whatever was happening. But their shots did nothing. The door kept shaking. A voice, deep and metallic, came from the ship's speakers. Broken, distorted, but terrifying. "Rin Hale, authorization, accepted." Every alien froze. Their eyes widened. Rin's face stayed calm, but his jaw tightened. He whispered softly, almost to himself, "I did not want this." The final lock exploded. The door blew open. White light filled the corridor, bright, hot, alive. The aliens shielded their eyes and fell back, screaming in pain and fear. The air trembled with raw energy. Inside the glowing chamber, something began to rise. Not a machine, not a weapon, something living, something that recognized Rin. The aliens stared in horror as the light shaped itself into a tall figure, humanoid, but made of pure energy, flickering like a sun, trapped in human form. Its voice filled every corner of the ship. Commander Rin Hale, we are online. Aliens panicked, running in all directions. The energy being stepped forward, and Rin whispered, "You should not have woken," but it was too late. The alien general screamed, "He is controlling. The core is alive." Then the being turned its burning eyes toward the aliens. Part 5 ends with the glowing figure taking its first step outside the chamber, and every alien realizing they are trapped aboard a ship with something far more terrifying than a human. Cliffhanger. The whole ship vibrates as the being raises one hand, and all alien weapons twist and melt into liquid metal. The entire alien warship felt like it was breathing, slow, heavy, and full of fear. A white-hot glow filled the corridor where the Eclipse core had awakened. Its energy hummed like 1,000 voices, whispering in a language older than stars. Aliens scrambled across the floor. Weapons melted into pools of silver liquid around their feet. Some crawled, some cried, some simply stared in shock. Rin Hale stood at the center of it all, calm and still. His clothes were torn, his body bruised, but his eyes were steady. He faced the glowing figure, the being of pure energy, like he had seen it many times before, like he understood it better than anyone else. The being looked down at him, its shape shimmering and shifting. One moment it looked human. The next, it looked like something made of fire and lightning. When it spoke, its voice rolled like thunder through every corridor. "Commander Hale, Directive 7A engaged. Release protocol initiated." Rin's jaw tightened. He stepped closer, despite the intense heat coming from the being. "No," Rin said, voice sharp. "Cancel protocol. Shut down." The being flickered. Its light dimmed, almost confused. "Conflict detected. You are injured. Threat level, extreme. We act to protect." Rin shook his head. "Protecting me will kill everyone on this ship. Shut down." The being tilted its head, studying him. Silence fell. The aliens were frozen, listening to every word. Finally, the being replied, "Protection is required. You are the last." Those simple words hit harder than any weapon. The last human alive from the war. The aliens looked at Rin, horror in their eyes. They had thought he was a prisoner, a weak, broken captive. But now they realized something impossible. He wasn't alone. He had never been alone. A commander whispered, trembling, "Humans. They built this thing." Rin closed his eyes for a moment, pain flickering on his face. He didn't answer. The truth hung in the air anyway. Humans made the Eclipse core. An officer gasped. A living war weapon that answers only to him. The being lifted its hand. The air around it rippled. Alien bodies lifted from the ground against their will, floating helplessly. The alien general struggled in the air, screaming orders that no one obeyed. "Put us down." "You can't." The being squeezed its hand slightly. The screams stopped, not because they died, but because something far worse happened. Their voices froze in their throats. Their limbs locked. They couldn't even blink. Pure terror flooded the corridor. "No!" Rin shouted, stepping forward. "Stop! Release them!" The being paused. It slowly turned its glowing face toward Rin. "You are in danger. They hurt you." Rin stared back at it, his voice low and shaking. "They hurt me, yes. They killed my people. They burned our worlds. But if you do this, you become like them. Do you want that?" The being flickered violently, as if its core was fighting a storm inside it. Lights on the ship flickered too. Every alien stared at Rin. This bruised, Unarmed human telling a living weapon to stop killing them. Then the being's voice echoed, "We do not want to be like them." A wave of energy washed across the corridor. Every alien dropped to the ground, alive, choking, gasping for breath, but free. Silence followed. A heavy, powerful silence. Rin's legs weakened from exhaustion. He steadied himself against the wall, sweat dripping from his brow. The being reached out as if to support him, but Rin raised a hand. "No, stay back. You and I, we are not done talking." The being stepped back slowly, confused, obedient, waiting. Then the ship shook violently again. Not because of the being, but because something outside had arrived. An alien scout ran from the bridge, panting, terrified. "Commander! General! There is something outside!" A deafening boom rattled the walls. The scout pointed at the view screen. His voice cracked. "It's the human fleet. We thought they were destroyed. They're back." Rin's eyes widened. The being's light grew brighter. Every alien stared at Rin in horror. And the scout whispered, "They came for him. And they came with weapons we've never seen." Cliffhanger. The view screen turns white as a massive human dreadnought drops out of hyperspace. Its guns charging, its engines glowing like a star, ready to do the unthinkable.